So I have a few more constitutional amendment proposals here that I wanted to share with you guys. The first one, of course, was the Priorities Amendment, and then there's a couple here. That would be Article 30 and Article 31, respectively, if they were to pass like this. I think they're actually pretty good, and I think they address some very important issues. So we'll go through them one at a time. Without delay, here we go. Article 30 would read, academic freedom is hereby recognized as an inalienable human right, and no institution, public or private, shall abrogate or abridge this right for any reason except for direct threats of violence, slander, and defamation as observed by the First Amendment. Okay. This basically means that the government can no longer censor based on ideology. It can no longer ask private institutions to do it, and private institutions like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube can no longer engage in the kind of censorship that they've been doing over the past couple of years. So freedom of information would be absolute under this amendment. You could learn what you want, think what you want, say what you want, as long as it's not the three things that the Supreme Court deemed unprotected, which of course, threats of violence, slander, and defamation. So that's what that is. This is basically an anti-censorship amendment. And it also, if you wanted to learn about anything like socialism, communism, any kind of dictatorial philosophies, if you wanted to learn about it, you're free to learn about it. They can't stop you from doing that. And by the way, just because I say that doesn't mean that I think they're the same. They're not the same. Communism, socialism, dictatorship are not the same. By far from it. Now, Article 31 here would read as follows. No individual or institution, public or private, shall engage in warfare as a means of conducting commerce. The right of all individuals and sovereign nations to exist freely and peacefully is hereby fully recognized and accepted. Goodbye military-industrial complex. Goodbye endless and illegal offensive wars. And as you'll see in the coming couple of sections here, any and all officials in the government and privateers who profited from war can be held fully accountable after this. Section 1. Any individual or institution, public or private, or any combination thereof, accused of war crimes or crimes against humanity is entitled to the full rights and benefits of due process of law. Punishment in the event of a guilty verdict shall be handed down as prescribed by law. Well, that's pretty straightforward, right? Section 2. In the event of a formal declaration of war as agreed upon by Congress, all revenue generated through the means of production and their subsequent sales as they pertain to the said war effort shall be immediately available for the assurance of the 10 basic commons without exception. This is how war would be paid for constitutionally. So instead of having debates about how to fund everything and how to cut, where to cut here, where to cut there, remember the 29th Amendment here says you can't cut from the basic commons. And it says here that in the event that Congress does declare war, and that's the only thing it says, it doesn't say the president unilaterally does it, or if we want to launch a shadow war in the intelligence community, because that's illegal under the initial section of this article. But if Congress does declare war, the profits made during war will all be for public services. Every single dollar. So those are the amendment proposals I have right now. Y'all want to leave some comments, go ahead and do it below. Please hit that subscribe button and click that bell to get notified of a video. And I'll be back soon.